Hi, my name is Jason. Oh, did I get? Yeah? Okay. I've done this a few times, so we can screw up a bunch and you can hopefully edit it down, right?
Absolutely.
My name is Jason with Mount Baker Mining and Metals, and today we're going to run a sample that some customers brought up from Nevada, just north of Elko, from the Tuscarora mine. And this samples were taken on the 1st of April, so we're going to run them through our turnkey system behind me. And I'll walk you through what we're going to do here. We don't have the jaw crusher module set up right now, but the sample is fine enough where we can dump it right in our conveyor module here. This is about a 1 to 2 yard hopper here. The crushed material from the jaw crusher would discharge via conveyor into this hopper. There's a magnetic feeder down here that you'll see in operation. There's an electromagnet in there, and it's adjustable, so you can adjust the rate of feed onto the conveyor belt, and it's just an electromagnet, so the more frequency, the faster it feeds. It will feed out this trough here. The hopper actually, you can see, has a hole underneath there, so the material is going to sit down onto that trough. The vibration is going to move the material out that red trough onto this conveyor belt. It's going to come up the conveyor belt into the hammer mill. And this is one of our 16 by 12 inch hammer mills. It has a 0.8 millimeter slotted screen in the bottom. And with this configuration, depending on the rock hardness and stuff like that, it'll run between 1/2 and 1 ton an hour. It's going to discharge. We run it wet to keep the dust down. And the material is going to discharge down into this trough as a slurry, come down onto our shaker table. The dense material is going to collect in the grooves, and it's going to work its way across the shaker table up onto the cleaning plane here. The quartz and the rest of the waste and gangue is going to come down into the number 4 port, the tailings trough. The dense material is going to work its way up. Any sulfides or heavier material that you have is going to come up the grooves, and it's going to form a band down at the end of these grooves here into the number 3 port. That's the middlings fraction, where most of the sulfides are going to go. And then only the densest material, the gold and other real dense metals, are going to work its way up onto the cleaning plane, get cleaned via this water bar, and work their way down the shaker table into the number 1 and the number 2 port. The tailings are going to dump into the spiral classifier here. And the way the spiral classifier works, let's go around and I'll give you a little tutorial on the spiral classifier. So most of the water and the waste off the shaker table are going to fall into the spiral classifier, and this thing augers the material that settles in that settling basin. It's going to auger it up and out and dewater it, and I'm going to put a little bin here to catch the stuff the spiral classifier augers out. But it's going to be coarser material. Here's some stuff. It's going to be a little bit coarser material, and if this assay is high enough, it can be run back through the system to recover more gold. If there's not enough gold to make it worth your while, it can just go into the tailings dump somewhere else. But the nice thing is it's dewatered and it's already in a pile. You can put it in super sacks, you can put it in bins or whatever. You don't have to pump anything. It's not a slurry. So that's one real strong advantage to have a spiral classifier. Any material that does not settle down in this settling basin stays suspended, and the water flow brings out into our tailings pond. And right now it's set on the highest setting, so it's discharging about 300 mesh and smaller product. So we have it set up to keep most of the material augered up and out so it doesn't fill up our tailings pond, because we have about a 1,500 gallon tank here buried that we want to keep as clean as possible so we can recirculate the water over and over again. And in dry areas like deserts in Nevada and stuff, water is actually, a key resource to have and to recirculate. Like I say, this is about 1,500 gallons that can be recirculated over and over and over and over again, as long as you keep the particulate in the water down. And that's one of the things that the spiral classifier does for us. So we'll get this thing fired up and we'll run your sample.
Yeah.